Well, we have a lot of, goal setting is a big deal to keep your focus going at this point in time, and continued improvement of some of the pitchers. Um, to take another conference series. That means we've won them all if we can pull this one off. Continue to improve on our offense, and keep the ball rolling, keep momentum.
How important is it to finish the season strong?
It's important. It's real important. Every game's important. We don't. Every game's a matter of pride. One, first of all, it's a matter of pride, and it's a matter of competing and showing nobody any quarter. Don't let up. Keep pushing the pedal. So, I think as far as the regional goes, I think winning this series this weekend will substantiate it. Period. Put a stamp on it.
You mentioned the pitching. I want to ask you about a couple in particular. Let's start with Sam Wolf. How has he developed this year, and how is he prepared for the conference tournament the following week?
Sam Wolf, and God works in mysterious ways. So Sam Wolf and Dan Spencer being at the same place at the same time was an advantage for Sam Wolf. Changed his life, made him a better pitcher. There's a big arm with very little command or sureness of himself, and his last 3 or 4 outings have been big time. Location and command and presence and all those things. And he's made Sam Wolf a big time draft pick.
How about Josh Walker? Now that you moved him up back to the starting spot, and he's coming off a good performance.
You know what? Nobody's asked me about. One question I haven't had from any of you guys is really weird to me. Where's Bobby Mattis? You know what I mean? And that happened in the fall. And when you go to any pitching staff and you lose a guy who's been an impact guy on your pitching staff, no matter where he's pitched, it's a domino effect. And that, with several other things on the pitching staff, from the fall and into the spring, there are guys that aren't here that were being counted on. So that moved Josh Walker to the back of the bullpen. That made him a closer, so it had to redo things. And Josh did an admirable job back there, and as the players say, Josh snaked a couple of W's that he shouldn't have got, but he got them. And the thing that we've realized now is Josh Walker is a starter. He is more him when he starts than when he closes. And he could do both, and he has done both, an admirable trait. But when he starts, the way he threw against Fresno was big time. Very, very. He could beat anybody in the country pitching like that.
The conference tournament, what does it take? You guys have been in a position where you've had down years, then got hot in the conference tournament. You know what it takes to win one. What does it? What's the formula?
Well, you got to be good and you got to be lucky. I mean, it's not easy. They're all the teams in our league. There's 3 first-round draft picks in our league, and next year there'll be 2 more. I mean, it's 5 guys that have a chance to be a first-round draft pick. Now, whether that happens or not, but projected. All of them but 2 are on the mound. And there's some really, really good pitching in this league. The pitching in this league is as good as any Southeast Conference or Pac-12 or whatever you want to call it. The pitching in this league is really, really, really good. The depth and number of pitchers probably isn't as many. So we've got to pitch well. We've got to play good defense. We've got to play excited, and we got to catch some breaks and see how it goes. But we do sit in a position to where we have a day off, where for 4 teams don't.
Speaking of first-round draft picks, with DJ being projected, I mean, that's got to help with exposure, help with recruiting, having those good players. How's that help the overall program?
Well, dating back to where 09, when we had a record number of kids drafted and kids that hadn't been drafted before and had turned into great baseball players. That's when recruiting started stepping up. And now with DJ and Mitchell Garver, and I can go back to Justin Howard, national batting champ, and Brian Cavazos, and just on and on and on. Kids know now you can come to the University of New Mexico and the coaching staff will develop you even better than you were. So that's helped a lot. It's a lot. If we ever get the facilities to be equal with everybody else in the conference, then it'll really step up.
You'll be defending your title at Fresno State, and you recently played there at the end of the season. How's that help in playing at that same stadium again?
Helps a lot. Home field advantage is a big deal. It's a huge deal in any sport, and especially baseball. So being there and having already 3 games already there gives us a lot of advantage where we wouldn't have had otherwise. It's very, very hot in Fresno. Fresno's hot like Dallas hot, and we dealt with that on Sunday. And so we'll be more prepared for that, trying to keep ourselves hydrated as we deal with the heat. And then the playing surface and the depth of the park where the ball carries and stuff like that. It's an advantage. We were hoping that we would be able to host someday. We thought this would be our year, but we weren't ready for it yet. So Fresno will host it, and they'll host it for a while, and hopefully we'll get ourselves in a position to host a conference tournament.
Is there a matchup that doesn't favor you guys as well as others?
Not really. I mean, we've taken every series. Every team has a pitcher. Nevada has Jordan Shipley, number 1 draft pick, kid 98. Air Force has some good pitching and can really hit. Fresno State probably has the most depth on the pitching staff as far as arms. And then UNLV and San Diego State have great pitching, starting pitching, as good as anybody in the conference. So not really, not truly. There's not a matchup. They're all good and they're all competitive. UNLV early in the year went in and swept Stanford, and Stanford, pretty good program, and they just wiped them out. And San Diego State, they go into San Diego, the University of San Diego, who's supposed to be a big-time program, and early in the year, and they wiped them out 4 straight. So the teams in our league, pretty good. They're really good.
This tournament won't be televised, where in previous years, every game was on the mountain of this tournament. How much does that affect, the exposure?
That hurts. Yeah, that hurts, and that's too bad. Because I think it's a big deal. If you want to become a big-time conference, you got to have television, and we had it, and we were doing well, and it disappeared, and hopefully we can get it back.
Just talked about how good the conference is, Ray. How do you run off 14 in a row? That's amazing.
We got lucky. We got lucky, and we can hit, and everybody in our lineup can hit, and these kids fight and scratch and claw. They don't panic. There's not any panic. We came within a whisper of winning that last game in Fresno, even after all the debacles in the 6-run inning and the bad defense. So what? And then all of a sudden, boom, the 9th inning, and it was laser, walk, and a chopper down the third baseline, and that guy made a heck of a play. If he rushes that a little bit more, it's down the corner, we score 2, maybe 3, and we win. So this team will get after it. This team can hit. It's the number 1 hitting team in the country. It's the number 1 offense in the country.
So what's your secret, getting these guys to hit?
Hard work and prayer.